Hi, welcome. So in this video, if it is what it is, it's very disturbing considering Kenny was supposedly by himself. Now if you don't know what I mean, I have footage / audio which may prove Kenny was not alone in the desert. Now, I'm not talking about animals. I'm not talking about the surrounding landscape or in the distance. The audio which I have sounds like there's someone else by his side throughout the hike, potentially. So I think that's enough talking now because it's getting bloody hot. I'm going to show you the footage now and then explain, okay?
And it took me quite a while to get out of this mountain range, and I walked almost all the way back to the highway, and my girlfriend picked me up, so it was a long trip.
Okay, so after analysing and listening to the audio a few times now, it does in fact sound like someone is laughing in the background. Now the actual pitch and tone is high pitch and sounds more feminine. Now there is a difference between Kenny's laughter and this noise produced, so it can't be the same person. The real question is, who could it possibly be? My guesses would be it's Kenny's girlfriend, as they've been known to hike and go on adventures in the past. Now if that is the case, it's a little bit odd that Kenny doesn't make any comment or reference about that noise produced in the video, as if he's trying not to create any focus on it and like almost mask it, hide it, move on to whatever he's talking about. Now another coincidental thing is just after that feminine laughter, Kenny then goes on to mention about how his girlfriend had to pick him up. It was as if he was trying to retell a story, but in the process, the person present with him, potentially the girlfriend, let slip and laughed about it because it might have been a funny experience and it shouldn't have been recorded. Because from the looks of it, if someone was there with him, he didn't want you to know about it because he didn't put the person in the frame. He didn't say, oh yeah, and I'm here with this person. So that's what I'm basically talking about. Now, Kenny's girlfriend, from people's interpretations, from the comments made by her, see her as a bit shady and dodgy from people's opinions. In terms of the comments they've come out with, they seem kind of very specific and they know what they're talking about, as if, you know, they know more than what they're letting on, in a way. Now, another odd thing is like how they just called off the search over time and kind of gave up. And yet, now and here and there, you've got people who aren't even related to Kenny going on hikes and looking for him. And yet the girlfriend gave up quicker. No disrespect, but that's the way it is. So it's a bit odd. And normally, when someone is trying to play down something or stop people or discourage someone from exploring or finding someone, there could potentially be, you know, linked to the disappearance of that person and the outcome of it. Because let's say you've heard it before where someone's ended up being killed and the killer end up saying, oh, you don't need to look for him, I know where they went to another country and they're on the run, so there's no need to go after him. You know, they just make themselves sound more suspicious because they exactly know what's happened. You know, they might not have done anything, but it just sounds dodgy in what they're saying. So I think that sums up just this piece. It does sound like laughter. It does sound feminine. I don't know what else could produce that noise. Could it be something loose in Kenny's pocket? Could it be some strap or some kind of friction making that squeaky noise? Or could it be his shoe, the rubber sole of it, scraping against the rock and making a weird noise? I don't know. It doesn't really sound like it could be that. Anyhow, moving on to the next piece. Okay, so additionally, what I did do was watch further footage of the video to see if there was any more further reinforcing evidence to prove there was someone else present. Now, a key thing I did monitor and analyse was the contrast and similarity of synchrony between movement and noise produced when walking over that sort of terrain. Now, normally you would associate crunching sound when someone's walking over, let's say, stones, gravel and stuff like that. And if someone was to stop, the noise stops as well. There is only noise when there is contact made between someone's foot and the ground, or there is like movement, or like a rock slide, rock fall, stuff like that. Now, the footage, I have a clip of it, which I'll show you very shortly, potentially slides towards the fact that there is someone with him. And what I mean by it is, as he's walking along, when he stops because he notices something, there's kind of a few extra steps and crunches made when he stops. In other words, basically, when he's stopping, he kind of makes a few like small footsteps, like that. Like how if something was stopping to a halt, there's a few extra steps. But in the process of the clip I'm going to show you, it sounds like there is too many legs to make that noise. You know, instead of two legs making a it's more like which is four, which would imply four legs, which would mean there's an extra human present or being, whatever. So I'll show you the clip.
There's some interesting stuff coming up here. Look, see those? There's some interesting stuff coming up here. Look, see those?
Okay, so in conclusion, if it was a person present with Kenny, my theory, and this is a very rough one and a bit out there, is that someone was there to ensure Kenny does not reveal the true location of the M cave or whatever it actually was. You know, you've seen it before where people may have been kidnapped or have been manipulated into reading out a script or performing a certain act they wouldn't normally do or stand for, but they're forced to do it, and they do it to throw other people off the scent or make other people change their minds. Now, what may have happened in the hike video, maybe in this one, is that someone was with him and made sure Kenny acted confused or tried to play it out as if he just can't find it anymore, where in fact he may know where it is, but he's not allowed to reveal the details. You know, it's a bit like with Mac Adventures, how in that video, the body language and the way the person was speaking, it was as if they were being controlled or forced to go against what they stood for and believed in and say something else. Okay? Now, a small little clip which could show this, being forced, maybe being nervous, being uncomfortable, is this part where Kenny kind of stammers and stumbles on his words.
And it's shaped like it's shaped just like the letter M.
All in all, it's just yet another slightly odd thing which just builds to the mystery. You know, you got the M cave, the covered up cave, the Eye of M cave, the keyhole. You've got Kenny's playlist being removed in the past. Then you've got Kenny's comment and Lemmy's warning being removed and taken off YouTube. And then you've got this, the strange laughter caught in the background. And then you've got bones appearing and in odd places where they shouldn't normally be. And then you've even got a Kenny video where it almost like foreshadows what actually happens to him. I mean, all these key details and events, it just really, it doesn't help. It just makes it even more mysterious. And yes, you get people who are saying, oh, nothing really bad happened or nothing really strange. But then when you look at all these bullet points, all these videos I've covered on this stuff, which no one has done before in terms of uploading videos, it really does show up as a mystery. So that's it for now. I do have another video coming, which is linked to Kenny M Cave and YouTube, some kind of dodginess around that, which I'll upload at a later date. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate the 400 subscribers and counting. Goodbye.